Hey guys, it's Chad Close here. Today we're gonna be making a flying platform type of sci-fi looking object. We're gonna model it in Blender, and then we're gonna export it into Unity and kind of do some final touch-ups and texturing, add it and make it look a little better. So let's just jump right in by opening Blender up, and what it's gonna try to look like in the end is something along the lines of this. And then we'll have like chainmail through type of fence type of thing through it, or yeah, or glass or something of that sort. So let's just go back to our first layer and let's add a cube in here, and then we'll go to 7, and then we'll scale it along the y-axis by 2, scale it along the x-axis by 2, and then we're gonna add some edge loops by doing Control R and then just clicking. And then we're going to delete the bottom half. And make sure you have limits on down here. And then we're going to move this all down 0.5. And then just delete these corners. We're going to add a mirror modifier, so we only have to do one side once. Or, yeah, one side, and then I'll repeat it 4 times. So here we go. Let's add some edge loops here. Just get enough to get us started. We can always try to get rid of some as we go. And before this, I'm actually going to apply it. And I'm going to select this loop right here. And we're going to do loop tools by hitting W and then circle. And then that kind of gets a circle look. And then I'm going to delete these vertices and then add the modifier back on. Get this good hexagonal look going on. And then from here, let's take our faces, and we're going to want an edge loop right here, and then these faces right here are going to be chainmail or glass or whatever you want. So just delete the faces, and then we'll bring this one, bring it in a little bit. Grab these vertices, just bring it in more. I'm actually get a more funky look going, maybe. I'm just kind of playing around right now. Not sure what I'm gonna do. Alright, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna add an edge loop here, and then we're gonna scale this along the y-axis. This is by 0. Scale y0. And what just happened there? Duplicated. Delete those. Alright, scale y0. Get a desired thickness. Do it over here too. Scale x0. Bring it over here, and then we're just going to delete these faces also. So there we go. That's the look I'm going for. So let's in here, let's add a couple edge loops, and then we'll take this face and then we'll extrude it down a little bit. Get these indents going. And I don't like the squareness of it, so let's just take this, and either you can bring it in like that, or let's see, on the other one I did, there's this oops, there's this bevel out right here, so it's a square and then beveled out. So let's go back to this layer, and to get the square, what I did is first I added an edge loop here and here to get the desired thicknesses again. Scale y0 and then bring it up, and we'll go right up there. Just get these out of the way for right now. Scale X0. Actually, I'm gonna delete these edge loops. Bring this out about there. Just delete this vertice. Add in a couple edge loops right here. Delete this vertice. Delete vertice, and then we'll just fill them in. And there we have a beveled look. And you could scale these in like that and get another one, or just completely get rid of them. I think I'm just gonna take them off this time. As you can see, it kind of gets really skinny here, so let's just take these and bring them down and out a little bit. I'm not going very precise right now. Alright, so there we go. We have a pretty basic game object. It's kind of looking decent, not half bad. Let's bring these in along the x-axis. Grab these along the y. Just get these a little skinnier. Save often. Alright, so there we go. This is looking pretty good. I'm not going for a too complex object. So now let's, the easiest way to probably do this is just select the top layer, shift duplicate it, move it along the z-axis down -0.5, and then, so now we have a top and a bottom type of thing. And when we texture this, all these bottoms are actually going to be backwards. So if we just select them all now and hit recalculate or flip direction, it'll just save us some trouble in a while. And then we're just going to hit Alt and select the middle loop. Alt, select the other one. Loop tools, bridge. Loop tools, bridge. And there we go. And as you can see, it's way, way, way too thick. So let's make it a little skinnier. And I want this a little deeper. Alright, so there we go. It's 284 polys. It's kind of high, but if you're doing a pretty basic game, it's not horrible. We can actually go in here and get rid of some edge loops. Lower our poly count. Get rid of these. Don't need that one. Yeah, I think we can't really get rid of any more as of right now. So let's just go ahead and save this. We'll apply our modifier, and we will get rid of these edge loops now. We don't need these. Alright, so there's some more edge loops and faces we got rid of there. Is there any other ones? I don't see any other obvious ones. So now, and in Unity, the way we are going to add chainmail is we're just going to put a texture on a face. So let's just add a plane in here, and we'll scale it up so it fits in there. And then we don't want it in the middle. We don't want it on the bottom. We kind of want it in the middle, more or less. So there we go. Alright, so my time ran out. So there we go. Yeah, this is pretty good. So now let's just select the main one, and we'll call it platform. Pretty plain, and then we can call this floor. And then we'll just select them both. As you can see, they're selected in here. File, save, and then we're going to export FBX, and we'll scale it up by 50, and then we're only going to want to do selected objects, and then flying platform is fine. We'll export that. And let's go ahead and open Unity up. Alright, so let's import a new asset by going assets import, Unity files, flying platform, FBX. There we go. So let's just drag that in, and then let's just zero it out for right now. And let's add in some directional lighting, and as you can see, it's the shading's all right wrong, but we can fix that pretty easily. I like to add just a plain old cube in here too, and as you can see, this is tiny, so we can just next time we export it, we can just remember that we need to up the size a little bit. You can also scale it in the editor, but don't really need to do that. I'm using Blender controls and it's not working. I'm freaking out. Alright, so over here, as you can see, the shading is kind of pretty bad, and we need to fix some normals, as you can tell. So let's just go ahead and delete it. Delete it. Open up Blender again, and then in here we'll go to display, and then we'll go texture solid. And as you can see, there's a couple big problems, a lot of faces that are wrong. So let's just go into edit mode, hit everything, and you can just recalculate it, and it normally takes care of it. If it doesn't, you're gonna have to edit it a little bit. And I know what the problem down here is. Just select these loops and fill it in, because I'm not going to be looking at it from the bottom, so there's no need to export them in. So let's select the two objects that we want. Go to export FBX, and then we'll just do 150 this time. Selected objects, and go ahead and export that. Bring up Unity again, assets, import new assets, flying platform. Drag it in the scene, and it seems like I did not export it right. Wonder, I only had one thing selected. File, export. Okay, there we go. Fixed. Alright, let's just center this out because I feel like it. And as you can see, the shading is still wrong, but if you just go over here to flying platform and down here, normal, import, just go to calculate and apply them. And you know what, that didn't go very well. Import. The way we can fix this in Blender is, I believe it brings up the poly count, but it works it very nice. So if you select everything in the edit mode, select everything, and I believe you hold Shift E, no, Control E, and mark sharp, and mark them all sharp, and then go over to modifier and do edge split, and then file save, and then let's export this hopefully one last time for this purpose. Selected objects, export, and I'm failing. File, export, FBX. Okay, maybe we got it right this time. There we go. So as you can see, all the normals are good and correct, and it's just dark down there. So let's open up the internet. and it opened in my bottom screen. Just type in fence. Um, and someone brought to my attention that it is. Sometimes these have copyrighted laws, but oftentimes they don't. And they're also sometimes just pictures that you can normally just freely use. If you are making a game and you're going to put it in something like that, you're going to want to be a little more cautious of doing that. So just beware. Um, this is very large file, but we'll save it and import it anyways. Just save it in downloads. Assets, import new assets, downloads, Chainlink. Where is it? Chainlink fence. And then down here, you can always just do, when you compress it, max size 1040, and it'll automatically shrink it for you and whatnot. So as I opened it, it opened not in the program I want. I'm gonna have to open Photoshop because we don't want the white in there because we want to be able to see through it. So if you just open, if I find it here, it's on my bottom screen. Just go to where it would be on your computer. Make sure you go in the one that's in the Unity already, so you don't have to re-import it again. So Unity Touch, Projects, Assets, Material, Chainlink Fence. Open her up, and it is very large. So let's just get this magic brush and start selecting all the whites, and I'm going to pause it and I'll be right back when okay, I'm back. So I've deleted it. I've also deleted the background, and then I'm just going to go ahead and file. I'm going to resave this. Well, actually, I'm not going to resave it. I'm just going to go down to, I'm going to open our objects, because now there's two chain links in there because I saved this one as Photoshop. I need to go in there and delete the other one so I don't mistake the other one for the right one. That makes any sense. Assets, materials, and then this chain link, we don't need that one. Just go ahead and delete that. Alright, we don't need this anymore. And in here, whoops, we don't need to save the scene. We're gonna need to re-import this. I went ahead and I was kind of testing some stuff out, but we need to re-import it because we haven't unwrapped them, so they don't have any coordinates for textures and materials in Unity. So let's reopen up Blender, and we'll just hit the bottom piece, and we'll select it and just go U unwrap. And if you want to look at the unwrap, it's just pretty basic. So and then just save that. Don't do save as. Save. Select everything that you need. File, export, FBX. Selected objects at 150. Export, and let's go to Blend or Unity assets. Import new assets, and I promise you this will work because I tested it, and oh my god, did I seriously delete that object? That is pretty impressive on that part, I have to say. Materials, yeah, just restore the entire thing. That's quite impressive. I'd have to say. Alright, there we go. Back in business. Okay. So, let's put this in here. Zero it out again. And we are going to have one material called platform. And I don't think I spelled that wrong, right? You know, who cares? Who cares that I spelled it wrong? And then another called floor, and drag that into the materials. And there's materials. we're just gonna put the chain link fence on there, and then for the flying platform, go to floor, assign floor, and then platform, assign platform. As you can see, you can't actually see through it, and that is because the diffuse, the shader is diffuse, and we're going to want to go to particles and additive. Additive works. Um, alpha blended works. Um, so really anything in the particles section works. I I think you can use both, but I'm gonna use this one. I kind of like it a little better. I don't know why. And I keep trying to save the scene. So, and then for the platform, let's just add like a bump specular to it, and let's give it kind of like a grayish sheen. It's not really going where I want. And it's not shiny because I did the edge split. Otherwise, it would kind of look like this. But that's perfectly fine. Just put it back to a diffuse and change the color. So there we have a pretty basic platform. Nothing special at all, really. I mean, it took probably way longer to make this than it really should have. But trial and error. I think it turned out pretty good. I hope you guys learned some stuff. Hope you guys learned the chain link thing. It's a pretty neat trick to use. You can also use that for like windows cracks and stuff like that. How much time? We are at about 15-16 minutes, I believe. Maybe. Probably more than that. Probably 17-18. We could go ahead and texture this, but since I don't have enough time and we're just going to leave it at this, this will be the end of this tutorial. Thanks for watching, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Subscribe, like. See you.